Being the Ricardos is the newest film coming straight to Amazon Prime. Now, over the Halloween season, I just watched Bewitched for the first time. You know, the Will Ferrell, Nicole Kidman movie. So now, we have a Nicole Kidman movie where she brought back a character from the 1960s television, and now with this movie, where she's bringing back a character from 1950s television. But is this film actually worth a watch? I was lucky enough to see this film early, and I'm gonna give you my quick thoughts right now. Hey buddy, how's it going? My name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic, and I want to say thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I'm sending you positive vibes your way. But if it's your first time here and you want to see more early movie reviews just like this, movie reactions to classic movies, and hangout live streams where we talk about movies, then please hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate all the support, and come join the BrandoCritic family. And don't forget about that bell notification so you never miss a single video. And while you're at it, make sure you check out my partners at Movie Scene Canada as well. Their link will be down below in the description. So, we have Being the Ricardos, directed by Aaron Sorkin, and you know him from such films as Molly's Game and Trial of the Chicago 7 in terms of him being in the director's chair. This is only his third film, and it stars Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball and Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz. And the story is about Lucy and Desi trying to work on their marriage and work on the show while it comes out in the newspapers that Lucille Ball is an alleged communist. So, is this movie worth a watch? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You guys should know that anytime you click on a BrandoCritic video, you're getting the 100% honest truth about my opinion. If someone came up to me and asked, hey Brandon, is Being the Ricardos a good movie? I would say, yes it is. It's got really great performances. You know, Nicole Kidman is really fantastic in this movie, and I really do think that she's gonna get some award nominations or something like that. And Javier Bardem is also extremely charming. They're both great in this movie. The script. It's a well-written movie. Aaron Sorkin has written some wonderful scripts in the past, and you can definitely tell that it's his dialogue here. It's a really great script. And the story, it's an interesting one. So, it's a good movie, but is it worth a watch? I'm gonna say no. And you might be thinking to yourself, how in the world does that make sense? How can a movie be good, you know, on the film school report card, but not be worth a watch? Well, this is one of those movies where I believe that the whole of the entire movie is less than the sum of its parts. And quite frankly, again, being brutally honest with you guys, these types of films, I don't like reviewing at all. Because a movie like this, and this one in particular, made no impact on me. If I really loved a movie and I'm extremely passionate about it, and it reignites my love for cinema, then I cannot wait to come home from the theater, push that record button on this camera, and tell you guys what I thought about it. Or if I hated the movie, if I was just extremely frustrated, again, I cannot wait to tell you guys how much of a show it was. But a movie like this, where even though I can go through the entire film school report card and go good next to it, the overall experience, and again, I was trying to think of a better word when writing down my notes than bland. But honestly, watching Being the Ricardos was a bland experience. And I think I have two reasons for that. Number one is the idea of the invisible director. Now, it's something that we learned in film school. Basically, when you're watching a movie as an audience member, you're supposed to be transported into the story. Your imagination and your emotions suck you into the world that the movie tries to create. You're not supposed to really notice the cuts. You're not supposed to notice the placement of the camera or the blocking of the actors or really pay attention to the production design, the set design, the sound design. Unless you're a big filmmaking buff, of course, you can notice when it's done well. But again, when you're really invested into a story, you're supposed to be noticing what's happening in the story, and your emotions and imagination take over. Basically an out-of-body experience. Now, some filmmakers have a very distinct style. Quentin Tarantino comes to mind, just as an example, where when you're watching the movie, you can completely tell that you're watching a Quentin Tarantino movie. But even when directors have certain styles, you can still get sucked into the story. However, there are some occasions, with some filmmakers more than others, where I can't get into the story because I'm distracted by all the filmmaking techniques. Now, trigger warning, this is why I don't like Wes Anderson films. I'm sorry, but I'm not a big fan of his. Again, his filmmaking techniques are amazing, but I'm not watching a story when I watch one of his films. I notice the camera on the dolly. I'm noticing all these things that would make a film school student and a bunch of film students in a theater applaud. Oh my God, great camera placement. I loved how you use the 19-degree lens as opposed to the 32, whatever the case may be. But this film sort of falls into that same camp. Now, like I said earlier, Aaron Sorkin is a great writer. A Few Good Men, The Social Network, Moneyball, all fantastic films. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. They are truly wonderful movies. However, here, and honestly with Trial of the Chicago 7 last year as well, it was hard for me to get into the actual story because I was distracted by the actual filmmaking and the script, because it wasn't like I was watching a story take place with characters. It was like I was watching flexing of filmmaking techniques on screen. Look at how good my writing is. Look at how good my acting is. Look at how good we are at filmmaking. That's what I got from this movie. Not a story about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz and the communist fiasco in the papers. I saw Aaron Sorkin going, look at my dialogue that I can write. Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem are great actors. Watch them do what they do with my dialogue. Go. Impressive, right? Academy Awards? Anybody? To me, and again, all reviews are subjective, it felt pretentious. And number 2 is the insider baseball syndrome. Now, I've been in many disagreements with people about this, but I will die on this hill every single day. A film should be accessible to anyone, regardless if they know the source material. This film is about I Love Lucy. So, I'm assuming that if you, watching this review right now, are a big fan of that show, then you will like this movie because this movie is about a show that you like. However, for people like me who have never seen an episode of I Love Lucy, we're left in the dust here because it doesn't do anything to really bring you in, and we're talking about things that we don't really understand. Now, this movie is structured sort of like a documentary where they actually interview the people throughout the movie, the people that were actually there during the events. But even with that filmmaking tactic, it's still not very accessible. So simply put, you shouldn't have to do homework before watching a movie. I don't think you need to read Harry Potter before you watch any of the movies. I don't think you need to read a single X-Men comic book before you watch an X-Men movie. I don't think you need to know anything about the stock market before you watch The Big Short. I don't think you need to read the Bible before you watch the 10 Commandments. And I don't think you need to watch a single episode of I Love Lucy before watching Being the Ricardos. However, I feel like I needed to understand and really get into this movie. Mank last year, in my opinion, had the exact same problem. And in my humble opinion, if a film is based on a true story or based on a certain source material, I think that if that film does a really good job, then that will make the audience member go out and research that source material. Quite frankly, I don't even want to watch an episode of I Love Lucy. This film didn't get me that intrigued to watch an episode myself. So with the pretentious tone and the non-accessible story, even those great performances, and even that wonderful writing from Aaron Sorkin couldn't save my experience. So for an overall rating, I'm going to give this movie a 2 out of 5. It's okay. Again, I didn't hate this movie. I know I'm sounding negative in this review, and I can already hear the comments just going crazy. I get it. I understand that. But with every video that I make, I'm being honest with you guys. Those are my thoughts on Being the Ricardos. What are yours? If you have seen this movie, let me know down in the comment section down below. Let me know in a nice way, please. What am I missing here? Did you guys see one of the best films of all time with this movie? If you have, let me know why you're so passionate about it. And trust me, I give every comment a chance. And if you love a movie that I hate, I will always try to see it from your point of view. Always. Guaranteed. Doesn't mean I'll agree with you, but at least I'll listen. So again, thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of the video. I really do appreciate all the support. And if you like what you've seen here, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd at BrandoCritic. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.